Today, Parental Alienation Survival Coach wants to talk about the bad days. We all have them. You can probably tell by the way I look, today is a bad day. But it's not as bad as some of the days I'm going to be talking about. My day is bad today because I've been sick for more than 2 weeks. I have kind of a near pneumonia. Yesterday, the doctor prescribed an inhaler. That was day 14 of this illness, which started out as a terrible sinus infection and went into like a bronchitis type infection. And then I had a CAT scan of my lungs. And anyway, I'm on an inhaler, and I feel like I'm not getting better physically. But the reason I wanted to talk to you now about that and from the state I'm in and be honest about that is because sometimes when the body is doing this badly, the spirit and the mind are such close neighbors that they start to go downhill too. And it was brought to my attention by another parent in the parental alienation support movement who was having a bad day, not physically sick, but his birthday had come and gone, and again he wasn't approached by his kids or the people that he thought loved him. And that can be a bad day too. And so when you're having a bad day, emotionally, and you have some physical issues on top of it, or you have a birthday on top of it, it can all, start cascading down. So, I learned a long time ago in my study of nursing and psychology that the spirit, the body, and the soul are such close neighbors that, like I said, one can drag the other down. I also had a birthday recently in the middle of this illness, and I did spend almost my whole birthday sleeping because I'm so sick, but I'm kind of going through an okay time, I guess, emotionally and mentally, that I really haven't let it drag me down, and still it's like physically I'm not well, but emotionally I'm doing okay, but I'm sensitive to, and I know that other people aren't. And so just wanted to talk to you about those bad days. Don't ever believe that you don't matter. It's easy to get into a situation where you feel like no one loves you, or that nobody would care if you lived or died, or that especially your poor children who are brainwashed, who are psychologically abused, you believe that they wouldn't care if you lived or died, that they just don't care. It's easy to go downhill in that kind of thinking. So, it's just really, really important to recognize it when it happens, to be aware of it, and to not go down that road. We all matter. We're all important. We all need each other. And the parental alienation awareness movement needs each one of us. We need you just as much as you need us. We need you to make your voice heard. It's not about having a pity party. It's just about letting other people know that parental alienation is real. And sometimes we don't even use that term anymore, parental alienation. There's a tension about using that term because it's a controversial term, and it's not really specified in any psychological manuals as a true condition. So we're moving away from that paradigm of trying to define it as a condition and really just looking at the symptom display in the children. When you have children who are afraid of you, when you have children who hate you and there's no reason for it, there is definitely something really bad going on the other side. It's nothing you have done. Unless you have been extremely abusive physically or mentally or extremely neglectful, there's no reason why a child would hate you and not want to come near you unless they're being abused on the other side. So there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, you didn't cause that problem and you can't fix that problem, but it's a real problem, and we'd still refer to it as parental alienation, but that word, that phrase is probably going to change soon to family bond obstruction or pathogenic parenting or just child psychological abuse or something like that. But anyway, we all need to do our part to get the word out there. Yes, we're all suffering, but that doesn't mean that we have to go down that road, even on our worst days. And we're not looking for pity. We're just looking for awareness. We want the world to know that this is really happening. And the more and more people that know it's happening, the more people that might be able to help jump in and prevent it or change it for the next person, and maybe even for yourself if your children are still young. So hang in there, moms and dads. We all have our bad days. Just look at me. It's obvious, right? So hang in there. We all have our bad days. They don't last forever.